Yeah. So, there was once this Seinfeld episode where Jerry had a girlfriend. You remember Jerry had a new girlfriend every week? And in this episode, the girlfriend looked really good in certain lighting, and then she looked really bad in certain lighting. I wasn't really sure at the time what the writers were going for. I was like, is this something people experience? Good lighting, bad lighting? And now that's me. I just caught a glimpse of myself in the wrong mirror at the wrong time of day, and I looked like shit. Oh my God. Just a wrinkled mess of shit. And then there's sometimes, like last night, I was putting on essential oil. I was putting on all this facial lotion, and I looked great. Like, it's so weird. We don't really know what we look like. Have you ever thought about that? How could there be good mirrors and bad mirrors? It's the same you. Like, do I really look like that ugly fuck looking back at me today with the bad lighting? That was bad lighting. Or do I look like the guy from last night? I looked so hot last night. Oh my God. Really feeling myself post-shower. Didn't eat one of those dinners where you feel too heavy. I'd say 70% of the dinners I eat right afterwards, I just feel too heavy. I have not mastered moderation yet, clearly. But last night, I kind of ate healthy all day, took a shower, got to the gym earlier in the day, felt pretty good about myself, putting on my anti-wrinkles cream, and I looked at myself, I was like, oh boy. This old Tomcat still got it. You haven't lost a step. And then today, like just now, caught myself in the wrong mirror, looking plump and wrinkled. Holy shit. What do we look like? Which mirrors do you trust? Whenever we see a picture on our iPhone, we're like, oh, I look terrible. What are we seeing? Is that really us? Is it lighting? Is it what we ate? Do you have to really like gauge what your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend tells you? You're like, how do I look in this? They'll never be like, ugh, you look awful. It's usually like, I like it. Or fine, it's fine. If you're in a rush and you ask your wife, how do I look? They don't even look at you. They just go, great, get your keys. Shut the fuck up. And then you realize beauty is from within. Oh yeah, like I'm going to get a big conclusion out of that. And then you realize that beauty is a who gives a shit? All I know is the Seinfeld writers has something new every week, and now when I rewatch the reruns, I have a new relationship with the writing, and I go, I get it. Yep, I see. We all know someone like that. We know someone like that. We avoid people like that. We want to date people like that. I get it. You know, there's so many shows, and I think writing's easy. You know, these writers that get awards at award shows, and we honor them and we celebrate them. It's the easiest shit. The recipe is simple. All of you can do this too. I mean, really, think about the amount of shows that are pretty good. Ask anyone, what are you watching right now? I hope you have 10 minutes to hear what people are watching right now, from Netflix to Hulu to HBO to Amazon Prime to Apple TV. It's a long list, and they all go, oh, it's amazing. The writing's amazing. The writing's fine. You want to be a writer? It's simple. Just think about the people around you. These are all characters. All right, I know you have to have a real plot for yourself, but all of us can easily write a movie right now. There's two ways. I'll give you the two ways. Here's a little sneak peek of your own magic powers of how to write. Just think of all your neighbors for a moment, okay? Think of all your neighbors. Go right, go left, go across the street. Who's above you, who's below you. Think of, 7 to 8 of the most noteworthy. And the word noteworthy is kind of vague. But I'll go first, and then you go, okay? Even though I know this is more of a monologue than a dialogue, you can tell me. You know, if I ever run into you, be like, yeah, here's my movie. All right, my movie is, I live in a neighborhood where if the neighbors are characters and I'm writing the movie, I got an old Chinese guy about 9 houses down who had a stroke. He now walks around the neighborhood with ski poles, and he loves his red wine. And we love Davis. And every time we see him, he clowns his ski poles, and I clown his ski poles, and we talk about his stroke a little bit. I got a lady who's been wearing a mask since the pandemic, and she always brings oranges to the elderly people in the neighborhood. She still wears the mask, and I forget what she looks like. She has sunglasses and a ball cap and wears a mask, and I don't even know what we're looking at anymore. It's like just a floating cartoon with oranges going across the street. There's a guy in a gray tracksuit who takes a half-block walk every hour in the same gray jumpsuit every day. Either he has 30 of them or he only has one outfit like a cartoon character. And this guy only goes the same amount of steps every day. We got a British woman who's so incredibly nice and has the most aggressive pit bulls. We have a nice young German couple, good-looking German couple, and they have giant dogs. And the German couple is very nice, but they tell you, Josh, don't get near the dogs. They'll bite your wiener. I go, they'll what? They'll bite you in the wiener. Okay, I won't get near your dogs. And they're always so sweet, but don't get near these dogs. Okay, Josh? Is your last name Rosenberg? Yes. These German shepherds might not like you, Josh. I get it. I got Vince next door, who's had 2 to 3 strokes in the last 2 to 3 years, and he's almost 80. He looks like he's 180. And he comes over every 2 weeks to show me his new vintage collection of some shit that I am kind of interested in, but it's always at the wrong time when I'm like, oh, Vince is knocking, and then I feel bad afterwards. I'm like, I should have given Vince more of my attention, but I always rush his ass out. Get the fuck out of here. I've seen your key collection. What is that? Well, this is a bowl of dirt from Iwo Jima. I bought this. All right, Vince, take a hike. Love the guy, but I'm never in the mood. These are golf balls, Josh. Do you want to hold my golf balls? These are from Torrey Pines. Vince, Jesus Christ. Keep your golf balls at your own damn house. Who else are the characters? I got a racist 2 doors down to the left. I heard him yelling about black people once. I didn't say this is a funny movie, but that sounds controversial. Who do I got? Another German couple, and they have chickens. And the husband's not friendly. The wife is friendly. The husband, he's always just working on his truck. I think your truck's fixed. He's been working on the same truck for about 5 years. I got another truck fixer down the block who has a bulldog who's immortal. I thought bulldogs had short lifespans. This bulldog has looked the same. Maybe it's AI. But he has a perfect-looking English bulldog who sits and watches him fix this truck. And we moved in 2018. It's now 2026, and the dog looks the exact same. What else do I got? What do you got? Who are your characters? The German couple? Josh, what did I tell you about the dogs? I know. Or you want your own show? You want your movie? Find out who was your first relative to come to America. What's their story? Guarantee. This is every single person living in America right now. If it's properly crafted, if you really get to the heart of the story, the essence of their story, every single human in our country right now, I guarantee it's a story based in pain, based in suffering and struggling and fleeing persecution, maybe forced against their will to come to this soil. Is it heroic? Is it sad? Every single person who learns their story. Like I found out I had a great uncle fleeing pogroms, one of many Jews to win a lottery so you could come to a tomato farm in New Jersey. And we're all miracles. You got here. You know how many immigrants have wanted to get here? And you know how many people initially didn't want to get here and had to come here? I mean, all of our stories are movies. Every movie, every nonfiction movie about someone's story, any biopic, of course it's good. Our stories are amazing. We're miracles. All of us. And if you don't know your own personal family history, learn it. Find the oldest person in your family and say, why are we here? Even if it goes all the way back, even if you're so white that you go back to the Mayflower, if you're Puritans or Quakers, how white are you? How white are you? Still learn your history, fleeing something, right? Searching for something. Good Lord. Write it. Write what you need to write. You have a memoir in you. Non-celebrity memoirs are the best. You're like, who's that? What? That happened? That actually happened? What was the one called? Educated, with that woman who grew up in the Mormon hills of Idaho with the craziest dysfunctional family? And now ask yourself, because there's no such thing as a non-dysfunctional family, ask yourself right now, if you pick the 5 craziest, most traumatic moments of your own dysfunctional background, and you stretch those out with good acting and good directing, could it be a movie? The answer is yes. Of course it's yes. And then ask yourself, do I feel lucky to just be here right now, taking this next breath? Yeah, I feel lucky.
The day I walked down the street I used to wander, yeah, I shook my hand. and made myself a bet. But there was all these things that I don't think I remember. Hey, how lucky can one man get?
Very lucky. I think that's the key to happiness, gratitude. Hey, you got a life lesson from the guy that looked shitty in the mirror 30 minutes ago, but I might look hot later. How are you? Let's check in. What's new? End of dry January's coming up. I'm going to get so fucked up in February. How many people come out of dry January just ready to go nuts? In February, my wife and I realized there's no benefit. We didn't lose a pound. We're not sleeping better. Oh, our skin's not better. We're not revitalized and refreshed. We just miss a Friday night cocktail. Get this dumb experiment over with. You know what happened today? I'll tell you what happened today. I planned a big day of teaching and I arrived and no one was there. Whoa, like the Twilight Zone. No one's here? I mean, I got an email that there was going to be a student walkout, a student ICE protest. And I was like, man, maybe 50, 100 kids. It seemed like 700 kids were missing at Terra Linda today, and a part of me was very proud. And then I realized I probably should adjust the old lesson plan. What am I going to lecture to 3 kids? All right, and then I want you to write this down. Okay, and write this down. The Pullman strike affected a lot of immigrant workers, and this was typical for the 1800s. No, you can't just bore the shit out of a few kids that showed up. Deep down, you're like, why didn't you all go to the protests? Deep down, you're like, are you kids ICE supporters? Just kidding. I didn't think that, and I didn't say that. But it's interesting to see a little bit of activism because the goody kids came up to me, and they're like, would it be okay if I attended the protest? And I'm like, all right, that's not activism to ask your teacher for permission. You just go. You just walk with the crowd. You scream, you honk, you put up the signs. You make sure that there's some media attention. You flip some people off. You get a chant going. You know, it felt important for a lot of these teens today. I was so proud of them. And a lot of them never came back after the protest. They're like, hey, how about a day off? Fantastic. Not just my high school, but a lot of local high schools I've heard are having walkouts. And a lot of schools around America are having walkouts. And the events out of Minnesota have been jarring. Why? Because it's all caught on tape. They're not just reading the stories. ICE agents shot and killed. ICE agents pepper sprayed. ICE agents being aggressive. ICE agents in the mix. People are watching every angle. Everyone's a detective and investigator. Well, the third bullet came from this barrel, and he had 2 in the chamber, and he pulled it from here, and her car was going this way, and she clearly could not have had control of the steering wheel. Everyone on social media going nuts. What's your source? Is it AI? Was it doctored footage? How scary is it to get your news from a million different sources? But what matters is young people are going to grow up to have very little faith in government. You ever thought about that? It's not like when I was young, or my parents were young, or my grandparents were young. I feel like when I was young, you looked at the office of president. It seemed like it was sacred, didn't it? At least it seemed like that's what grown-ups, professional grown-ups can do. Like mature grown-ups with integrity and dignity. That's the office of president. These students don't give a shit. These students don't look at government and feel that. They just feel completely disillusioned. It's just another weird social media feed with some crazy content every day. That's all DC federal government is. The kids who are just scrolling through how many videos per minute in the TikTok, Snapchat world, when they get to something that reflects ICE or the executive branch or Trump, I don't feel like any of it is sacred. Like government, politics, civics. Teach the kids. No, to them, it's probably just like Grand Theft Auto. It's like, oh, fuck. You got shot in the head. Oh, fuck. Like they're just going nuts. How could they survive this kind of stimulation? It's on their phones at all times. None of this is like packaged nicely in a primary source article. You know, the way a lot of us learned about JFK even. It wasn't like we had modern crystal clear 4K footage of every angle and AI to deal with, and everyone had their own theory, and then the president immediately tells you what happened. I guess not with JFK, he was the president, but our current president immediately in the executive office, immediately in DHS, immediately tells you, here's what happened, here's what you saw. Isn't that crazy? When authority tells you what you saw, but millions of teenagers say, no, I don't think so. I didn't see it that way. So what's ICE? I mean, I was young at one point. I remember 9/11. I remember when ICE started soon after 9/11. I don't remember having this opinion of like, oh, ICE, yikes. America has had regulations for immigration forever. But ICE is kind of recent. On the heels of 9/11, there was a different mindset, wasn't there? Is this how you remember it? Okay, so it's called Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It's one of those big agencies under Homeland Security. All right, and I only know some of this because I taught government. I don't think I ever remember learning it as a student, but I had to teach it, so I became the student. I go, okay, Homeland Security, learning about the executive branch and ICE and what's it all about. And at times, ICE sounds fine. Like if these are the people supposed to stop sex trafficking and drug smuggling and cybercrime, there's more to it than just shooting people in the streets. There's more to it than what's happening right now on our iPhone viral videos. So some people just view them as like they're all about deportations and labeling all immigrants as criminals. And I understand the viewpoint right now very much. But let's say ICE is under the command of the president. This is the current president. Not all commanders would use them this way. So like, let's say Trump's gone one day. The next president might use ICE differently, but I wonder if the reputation of ICE persists and young people grow up and when they say ICE, they'll just feel a certain way. Maybe it's important to see some of their other duties. I don't know. I mean, didn't Gandhi say a few muddy, dirty drops of water don't make an ocean dirty? I tend to think that whenever you see some corruption or some controversial, scandalous shit, you're like, damn, that doesn't represent everything happening right now, does it? But then you also realize the power of viral videos and certain stories do start revolutions. It is what starts revolutions. Oh, these teens, I am so impressed with a lot of them, but I'm also like so worried for their minds receiving endless streams of information that's likely unsubstantiated, but we'll go with it. And it all looks like a soap opera. It all just looks like a reality show because it is truly just screens. It looks like it's a show out of DC. Government has so much. If anyone is moving forward hoping that there's going to be some credibility restored to our government, there's a lot of repairing that has to happen. Holy shit. For teens in America to grow up and then become people in their 40s and 50s and 60s to like feel trusting of the government, is that a lost cause? Is that laughable for me to say, how are these people going to trust our government? And why is it? See, they're not like us. We're the people in our 40s, 50s, 60s. We're yelling at each other. Not me personally, but, I think we're the age range, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, yelling at people on Facebook. Hey, fuck you, right? Hey, fuck you, left. I think we're seeing the young people who are like, hey, unk, hey, you old fogies on Facebook yelling at one another. What'd you expect? Is that the bottom line? Like, what did you expect? They're going to expect constant scandal, constant action, constant viral videos of people being killed in the streets. They're exposed to it so frequently that that's their expectation. Nothing that has to do with a sophisticated, intellectual, dignified president and an executive branch full of integrity. No, fuck that. To them, it's Chuck E. Cheese with suits on. I don't know if that makes sense, but Chuck E. Cheese with the rat rave hole. The old Chuck E. Cheese next to Cala, which is now Marinwood Market. You remember Chuck E. Cheese? You go in the little hole and other kids are raving to the strobe light and you come out of there and someone had a seizure and Chucky came out and someone lifted his head off. So we're going to have to close down the restaurant for about an hour because the actor employee who played Chucky that day is traumatized and we need to have an immediate talent search. You remember that? I'll ask you this, and you answer how you want to answer this. I think I'm just going to detach from whatever the hell I was saying. But if there's activism on campuses, I think technically that's great. That's beautiful. That's your freedom of speech, what so many people have died for in this country. So I don't think there's many teachers who are like, you're going to miss the test and get a 0. Most teachers are like, you do you, power to you. But I ask you, and this is not a morbid question, this is a real question, because I subscribe to the Sunday paper, and I'm sorry to brag, but I read the obituaries, and I always wonder, what would my obituary photo be? That is a big ass question. Your obituary photo? All right, let's say I make it to 92. What photo am I going? You have one photo to capture your life. Now, for the people that use an elderly photo of themselves, I go, what the fuck are you doing? You used to be so hot. Arthur, you used to be so hot. Marguerite, you had a hell of a body. And you put a picture of yourself at 88 drinking tea at a wooden kitchen table? That's your obituary photo? We don't need it to be recent. And then some people get a little too cute. Like, you know, someone who died in their 90s, they put up a glamour shot of them looking ripped, wrestling an alligator, drinking an old Olympia beer. I'm like, I don't think you have to go in that direction to like try to find that's too much pressure to try to find the best photo of my life. I'm dead now, but remember me wrestling the alligator, always drinking my Olympia and looking ripped. You can't do that either. But if you have a prop, hey, obituary photo people who pick a prop, or I guess I don't know if they pick their own photo. Maybe one of their kids picked the photo. If it's like, you know, Jill loved her martinis, we'll be like, what a drunk. Jill's obituary photo, she's holding a martini. What a fucking lush. You can't associate whatever the prop is. Like, I've seen a lot of props in these photos. What's another prop I've seen? Usually it's something you're drinking or eating. This is Gene with a plate of nachos in front of him. Gene, really? You fat fuck. You want everyone to remember that you were the biggest nacho eater. You lived this incredible life. Incredible life. You fought in the Navy. You raised a family. You had this incredible job as an engineer. You retired and played golf and tennis and season tickets to the opera. And all we're going to say is that fucking fat piece of shit Gene ate all the nachos. That's not right. That's not right. So I'll try to think with you. I know you're thinking right now. What age? Let's say I make it to my 90s. I'm going to pick a photo of me. I'll say 69. Not just to make the 67, 67. I'm really enjoying the 6'7" thing the kids are doing. No, 69. And that's not to make the 69 joke, which is one of the great poses in sex history. What's your favorite? Dial me up. Let's open up the phone lines outside of 69. What's your favorite thing to do between the sheets? Oh, Tom Likas, the shock jock era is over. Remember all the Howard Stern worshippers? Oh, I was just talking about this with some friends. We were texting. There were so many just chauvinistic shock jocks that said the most sexist, mean shit about women. And this is only like 10, 15 years ago. We've made a big leap, I think, in terms of like gender equality and inclusivity. I think we've made some strides. You don't hear radio shows like that. You know what else you don't hear? Radio shows, period. No one's driving in on their morning commute with, hey, it's Tony, Leo, and Diane. It's K-Smooth 101.1. We're about to prank call someone and make them think their spouse is having an affair, and then another block of David Bowie. Ain't nobody listening to radio like that. But it's funny to think about. Those shock jocks. All right. We got two types of parents in the world. And you could identify. Oh, what's my obituary photo prop, by the way? No prop, but I'll probably be in a Manute Bowl jersey. Yeah, a Warriors Manute Bowl. No, not the Heat. No, not Manute with the Bullets. You can't wear a Bullets throwback. They're the Wizards now. Not the worst. I mean, I'm not like an advocate of Bullets in any way, but that was a great name and logo, the Washington Bullets. And now what are you? Oh, the big sleeves, white bearded Wizards. We are the Wizards. The shittiest logo, the shittiest team name. We are the Wizards of Washington. Shut the fuck up with that. Washington Bullets. Why'd you change it? Was there too much violence in D.C.? Did anyone who was like, I'll never shoot a gun? I am so anti-Bullets, but I'm such a big basketball fan. I just love Wes Unseld. Who are some other Bullets of all time? Great Bullets. Jorge Murison. Who are some good Bullets players? Weber played there for a little bit. Gugliotta. I don't know. Robert Pack. Skywalker. Harvey Grant. Horace's twin. But when you think Bullets basketball, with those two hands holding the basketball, great logo. It's not like there were bullets in the logo, right? Were there ever bullets in the logo? I don't know, but we get a little soft with it. I mean, I understand you don't want any like racist team names. You don't want to offend any tribes, but The Colt 45s, the Houston Colt 45s. How cool was that shit? They became the Astros. I guess that's fine. The Astros with those rainbow unis playing at the Astrodome, which seemed big at the time, but if you see it on a Google, what am I talking about? Who gives a shit about the Astrodome? Okay, let me get back on track. Two types of parents. There's two types of parents, and I learned this. Actually, I think I've always known there's different types of parents, but I whittled it down to who is my wife and who am I? We were at a little kid's birthday party. How many stories of mine? What a boring, I shouldn't say boring, but what a just redundant life I'm living. Every weekend it's a kid's birthday party. Another gift, another piñata. Happy, but we sing the song. We cut the cake. The parents can't wait to get back in the car. But the kids get the goodie bag and the kids get all sugar high'd out and the kids have a good time with all that hyper energy, and that's what it matters. That's what matters. The kids had fun today. But we're at a little kid's birthday party and it was a great one. I mean, they had soul food. They had tons of drinks. They had grandmas helping to set up decorations. They had tons of kids from different schools. It was actually diverse, a lot of different ethnic backgrounds in the room. And my daughter and a couple friends, they go to this game room area where it's just like puzzle pieces everywhere. Just figurines and balls and all sorts of shit, magnets strewn about, just like a good old-fashioned birthday party should be. And my daughter didn't make the mess, but she went into the mess. And all of a sudden, this little girl sits on a chair next to him and goes, "You realize you have to clean this up?" And I was just observing this. I go, huh, maybe that comment will just kind of float away. And then she said it again right in my daughter's ear. "You know you have to clean all this up." She didn't even live there, this kid. I know that for a fact. And my daughter looked at her and she's like, "It's not my house. It's not my party." She's like, "I don't think I do have to clean this up." She's like, "You have to." Part of me wanted to immediately get involved. So what type of parent are you? If you're observing that, would you say, "Hey, actually, she doesn't. She's just going to play, and then these fucking parents have to spend 2 to 3 hours after the party cleaning up and wondering why they hosted it." Okay? That's how it works. You don't ask the little kids, the little second graders to clean up a party. But I didn't say shit because my wife was next to me and she just tapped me and said, "Well, let's see how this unfolds." My wife has this beautiful patience where she's able to let it unfold because in the real world, when daddy's not there all the time, they do have to have their own conflict management solving skills that you develop over time, right? But in that moment, I just want to tell this girl, "Hey, back up. We're going to make a bigger mess. We're going to throw markers out the window. I'm going to play Don't Break the Ice and let all the cubes fly around this bitch. I'm going to play Simon Says on the loudest volume they got. Now beat it." No, I didn't say any of that. And then my daughter, was kind of like, "Okay, I guess we should clean a little bit." She's not one to confront. But my wife also knows how to do that with our own girls. They're at the age where I think they argue a little bit more than they used to. Maybe twice a day they're at each other's throats, telling on each other, "Ma, Remy just said, Ma, Dad, Mila just said." And I'm always like, "What'd she say? What'd she say?" You can't say, like, I immediately get involved and invested in my wife. She actually stops replying. If she's in another room, she's able to mute them. I've seen this. That's the type of parent who says, they'll solve this on their own. I'm not that way. I'd love to be. I'm just not. I jump in quick. "Wait, who said what?" You got to apologize right now. You can't say that. To every little 8-year-old and a 4-year-old argue, you got to stop. You can't say that. "Hey, let's all hug it out." "Well, apologize. We don't say that in this house." "You can't do that in this house." I need to shut the fuck up. I think the patient parent might be the better option, but don't fault yourself if you're like, "No, I intervene. I get involved." If there's a girl telling my girl to clean up a birthday party, I'll say, "Hey, shh, scram." I don't know. Maybe I'm in the middle on that one. You know who else my wife is? She's a part. Here's how you know we're in our 40s now. We're so exciting. My wife's a part of and buckle up for this, a Trader Joe's Facebook fan page where she knows new items are about to drop before they're on the shelves. Oh, are we having a blast over here? Our weekends are kind of crazy. Sometimes we go to Trader Joe's on Sunday and we know there's going to be a new room spray, cedar balsam. We know there's going to be a new room spray, and we're like, fuck, that could be really fun. That could be really fun. We used to black out in Tijuana after the donkey show and get arrested by federales. And now we're like, you heard about the new room spray? This could be a game changer. My wife will say, there's new jumbo shrimp in the frozen aisle. And she'll say, people are going nuts about this. Now picture that for a moment. Picture people in the frozen food oil going nuts. They're just looking into those big vats, those big bins, going nuts. Like, oh shit, fucking jumbo shrimp. People aren't really going nuts. It's a Facebook fan page where if you see 4 to 5 comments, the vocal minority, it makes you think like, oh, this is a big deal. Oh my God, are you kidding me? They have a new tangy barbecue sauce that's spicy. Josh, we could put this on anything. I mean, we could even put this on chicken. People are going fucking nuts about this. They're going ape shit in the aisles at Trader Joe's. No, they're not. Oh boy. Thanks, Facebook, for making us feel a part of these clubs with these strangers who hype up shit that's probably boring to most of the population, but to us, you get yourself in a little Facebook fan page. Yeah, it's your new family. That's your new fam right there. The other thing about Facebook, Marketplace, I don't get it, because I thought I had an algorithm where they show me like cool new sneakers or maybe some old Warriors clothing. What else have I looked for? Patio furniture. But just recently I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I'm not making this up. And there was just turkey meatballs cooked. It said $5 or best offer. What? Honestly, who's cooking turkey meatballs and thinking, all right, I have time before these go cold and bad to put these on Facebook Marketplace and wait for the hits? Hey, are these still available? Yeah, I'm out in Vallejo, but I could be at your house in like 2 hours. Who the fuck needs turkey meatballs that way through Facebook Marketplace? And why is that in my algorithm? I know I'm a big eater, but I don't think Facebook's reading my mind like this guy's scrolling for turkey meatballs. This guy's who does that sound like? Who's that voice right there? Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh yeah, I got turkey meatballs on Facebook Marketplace, brother. No, brother is Hulk. What did Macho Man say? I don't know, but I like those meatballs. You know what else I saw on Facebook Marketplace? They sometimes have hot girls standing next to an item just so you click on it. I saw an old car that was so beat up, banged. It was like it was just in a crash, but a girl in the car pressing her boobs up against the window. It was so perfect. How dumb are we? Humans, we're going to click on that. You're like, all right, well, let's see what this car's all about. 50,000 miles. Okay. Rear tread axles look to be in place. Damn well we clicked on it to see these jugs pressed against the window, but you shouldn't. Who are these women agreeing to do that? Is that like a low entry level modeling job? Hey, we're trying to get this car sold. No one's going to buy it. It was just totaled. But what do you say you press those up against the windshield for us? It's sad. I was just saying we're making strides in terms of gender equality. That seems like a step in the wrong direction, and I don't condone that. What do I condone? To reflect on the message today, I condone students protesting things that they care deeply about in their heart. I care about my neighbors, Davis with his ski poles and the German couple with the big dogs. You don't get near, Josh. Josh, I'm not sure our dogs like you. Okay, I get it. And I like my wife, who lets me know what's at Trader Joe's every week. And I like you. I appreciate you listening. Drop a rating, drop a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, and have yourself a happy end to January. If you're doing dry January, never again. Isn't that, I guess we can't steal those 2 words. That's for real heavy events in history, never again. But for me, yeah, dry January, never again. This episode's in the books. I'll talk to you soon.